The African Democratic Congress has had enough of watching in silence, and yesterday, Tuesday, March 3, 2026, the party has come out swinging with one of the most direct and carefully worded political statements released by any opposition party in Nigeria this year. In a formal statement signed by the ADC's National Publicity Secretary, Bola Abdullahi, the party accused the federal government of applying justice selectively in the ongoing legal cases involving two of its most prominent members, former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai and former Attorney-General of the Federation Abubakar Malami. And the argument the ADC is making is not just a defense of two accused men, it is a constitutional argument about the rule of law, the right to presumption of innocence, and the danger of a democracy where the coercive powers of the state appear to move faster against opposition figures than against anyone else. Here is the heart of what the ADC is saying. Both El-Rufai and Malami, both members of the ADC, have been moved from one security agency to another in rapid succession, while formal charges have yet to be fully crystallized against them. El-Rufai was first detained by the EFCC, transferred to the DSS, then handed to the ICPC, all before any formal charges were filed. Malami appeared before the EFCC and ended up in Kuje Correctional Center after his bail was voided, with his wife sent to Suleja and his son also behind bars. The ADC's central question is pointed and difficult to dismiss. Is detention in these cases being used as an investigative shortcut or as an instrument of pressure to keep opposition leaders out of political circulation ahead of 2027? The party then made a comparison that has generated a storm of reactions online. They pointed specifically to a separate high-profile Nigerian legal case involving allegations of passport forgery and international conspiracy, where the accused were granted bail, allowed to defend themselves freely in court, and the matter has been proceeding at what the ADC described as a gentler pace. They did not name names in that comparison, but the implication was clear to every Nigerian following the political landscape. The ADC said plainly, Nigeria and Nigerians will not accept a situation where the coercive instruments of the Tinubu-led federal government move with unusual speed against opposition figures, while similar or worse matters travel at a slower pace elsewhere. That statement in its entirety is a direct accusation against the President of Nigeria and his administration. Here is what makes this story even more interesting. Peter Obi has actually been conspicuously and deliberately silent on the El-Rufai and Malami cases. A man who is usually among the first to issue statements on matters of national importance and rule of law has said nothing about two of his own party's most prominent detained leaders. Political analysts are already dissecting this silence loudly. They point out that Obi recently declared his intention to run for president in 2027 under the ADC on a platform of clean governance and transparency. Defending El-Rufai, who is facing a 432 billion naira probe connected to his time as Kaduna Governor, or Malami, whose tenure as Attorney-General was deeply controversial, might seriously undermine Obi's carefully cultivated anti-corruption brand. There are also old tensions to consider. El-Rufai famously claimed during the 2023 campaigns that Obi had him detained in an Anambra hotel for 48 hours, a claim Obi's team dismissed as false. So Obi's silence may be calculated, strategic, and entirely deliberate. In Nigerian politics, silence is often the loudest statement of all. If you want to follow every twist and turn in this story, the ADC's fight for its leaders, Obi's strategic positioning, and the government's response, subscribe to this channel right now and hit that notification bell so you never miss a development. The ADC made 4 specific demands in its statement. It called for immediate public clarification on the precise status and stage of investigations against both men. It demanded strict adherence to constitutional safeguards against arbitrary and prolonged detention. It called for transparent and time-bound prosecution of any charges supported by credible evidence, and it demanded the equal application of the law without discrimination based on political alignment. Those demands are not just political theater, they are constitutional requirements that any Nigerian government is legally obliged to honor. El-Rufai himself has filed a 1 billion naira fundamental human rights suit against the ICPC, with the next hearing set for March 11, and the ICPC is still expected to file formal charges against him before or on March 5. Malami's next court appearance is also approaching. The timeline is tight, the political temperature is rising, and the ADC statement today has ensured that the question of selective justice in Nigeria will remain at the center of public conversation for weeks to come. So, here is the question for you today. Do you believe the Nigerian government is genuinely pursuing justice against El-Rufai and Malami based on credible evidence, or do you think the timing and speed of their detention compared to other cases suggests something more politically motivated is at play? Drop your honest answer in the comments below. Share this video so every Nigerian following this story gets the full and balanced picture. Like it if this breakdown gave you everything you needed. And stay subscribed because March 5 is just 48 hours away. And what happens in court that day will define the next chapter of this saga entirely.